Well, hello and welcome back to the channel. So we left you guys in Leon as we were enjoying our tapas, pinchos, and we went to another bar and had another couple of very nice ones.
And one hideous one.
Nice garlic soup. I thought it was like fried potatoes, and then the guy was like, nope, it's garlic soup. I quite liked it.
I like garlic, but not like that. I don't. That was awful.
Yeah. And then we came back to the air. It was mobbed when we came back, but we came back about 11:45.
And a useful thing to know, the shopping centre, which is directly opposite, we popped in there at 11:15 at night and the toilets are still
Those were still open.
So very useful to know.
Woke up this morning and the first thing we wanted to do, one of the reasons for going across to the western coast of Galicia, is to visit the Seas Islands. But unfortunately,
You have to get pre-authorisation before you can buy a ticket, because they only let, I think, something like 1,800 people a day on. And unfortunately, it's not available till the 30th of August.
yeah, and that'll be too late for us. So
we dropped the ball on that a bit.
we decided to still head across to the west coast.
No, I was just going to say, we ummed and ahed anyway, because the reviews, apparently a lot of people just go to sunbathe on the beaches. There are some nice hikes up to a lighthouse, etc. But it depends what you're looking for. We sort of ummed and ahed anyway about whether we would enjoy it, so it kind of made the decision for us. But look into it, because it might not be for everyone, and it is about €40 for two of you return on the boat, so it's quite expensive.
And we were going to go to an air that is about an hour out of Vigo. That's our kind of plan to get to on Friday evening, where we were going to get the boat. We're still going to visit Vigo, but that's on Friday. But then I noticed that, bloody flies, I noticed that where we stopped off here, just at a little service station to have some lunch, there's actually an hour only 8k away, and it looks like it's kind of a little man-made beach with access to potentially a river to bathe in, and we might need a bathe or two. Unfortunately, the area that we were going to stay at, or that we'll probably stay at tomorrow night, it does have access to hot springs, but I think because of COVID, the hot springs are closed. So what we're going to do is we're going to go up and check out this area. It's only 8k away. We may or may not stay there. And then if we're not going to stay there, it's an hour and a half to the next little place. But unfortunately, the Seas Islands are a no-go.
Unless apparently people do cancel.
Nick will be down there on Friday
so
morning banging the door. Let me in.
You can maybe, if you're really lucky, try and get a ticket for the next day or something. But I think we'll just let it go this time.
Indeed. Right.
And just going back to flies, while I remember, really useful if you do bring something to put up your door if you haven't got a fly screen. Seriously, they have been a nightmare.
The flies have been pretty.
Yeah.
I literally have become like Mr. Miyagi, catching flies.
Yeah. And they will travel with you for miles. They
Oh yeah,
just
we're,
don't want to leave.
We're just doing basically a fly taxi service. That's all we're doing.
They'll fly out the door and then turn around to come back in. And we're like, no! Anyway, totally unrelated, but...
Onward. See you in a bit. Well, good evening, guys, and welcome to our little park up for the night, which is a little park up which is just about an hour outside Vigo. It's lovely, actually. We're parked in below sort of shady trees. There's a little sort of bar cafe area. Unfortunately, there are hot springs here, but they're out of use, as is a lot of things, because of he who shall not be named. So we just had tea. Once again, I was on cooking duty. No change there. And the old...
I did drive a bit today.
You did. On just a really dull, boring motorway, but you were still freaking out about driving. But it gave me a little bit of a break because I've done most of the driving. Although we've been here 5 weeks and we've only done just over 1,000 miles. In fact, not even, because 300 of that was on the Portrush to Rosslare side. Crazy.
And we did, 300 miles today?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So big driving day today. So we're also probably not going to go and stay in Vigo. The reason why we were staying in Vigo was obviously to go visit the Seas Islands, and obviously that's now, as we said earlier, is off the table. And the little area that we were going to stay in, there was a paid for area, but we wanted to leave the van there because obviously we were going to cross the island. So I've now sort of earmarked another couple. One which is just down south of Vigo, which is a little coastal area. It just sort of looks like a free park up, no services. And then one up in the more historic region of the area, which is called
Ponteverde or something.
Ponteverde.
Not
So
100% sure.
might park there. But as is always the case, things are very fluid. We have a barking dog. Things are very fluid. It's busy here, but it's not overly crowded, which is quite nice. So, shame the hot springs aren't doing, mostly because we could do with a good scrub down. There are some hot springs that are open 5 miles away. Japanese ones. So we probably will go along there tomorrow and have a bit of a soak in there for a couple of hours. But we'll update you on that as and when. Right, well, we're going to get washed up.
Yep. I've got a bit of a migraine, so we'll see how that goes. Just take some tablets.
Somebody was a little bit hungover this morning.
Unjustified.
Very unjustified.
Yeah.
1 glass of wine and maybe half a beer.
Yeah.
But she did wolf down a very tasty looking cheeseburger that we just randomly bought while we were doing our shopping this morning. So
which helped at the time, but now I'm feeling a bit rough again.
Yeah. Right, we're going to just chill out for the evening. Probably go down actually and sit in the last of the sort of embers of the sun. And it's very hot today. It broke over 30 degrees today. So get washed up. Go down, sit in the sun. There might even be a cheeky little ice cream on the go.
I was thinking just the same thing.
There we go.
Actually.
There we
So
go. Great minds think fat like.
And of course, we all know that ice cream helps migraines. So
does beer. Good morning, folks. So we have kind of decided to mix up the plan for the spa, and we are actually going to stay here another night. But we're actually going to run to the spa. I think it's about a 6 mile run, 10k. Have a spa, a couple of hours. You get €4, was it?
€5.70, I think.
€5.70 for 2 hours in the Japanese spa. It's all kicking off. Yeah, so we're going to run along. I'm not sure how much you can run along. Basically, this area.
I think it's going to be a while.
This area where we're staying, it's one of the best places for thermal baths, and actually one of the walks that you can do, you pass by 7 different thermal areas. Unfortunately, most of them, if not all of them, apart from this Japanese one, are closed due to COVID, which is a real pain because it sounds like it was a gorgeous walk to do. So, because obviously, as we said, I think last night, the area that we're staying in right now, there's a thermal bath just next door to it. So our plan is grab some breakfast. Nicola's going to the public toilets aren't here, so Nicola's going to go and hug the little white telephone in our van.
I'm sure people don't need to know that.
By the way, I'll put a link down below. I wrote a little blog post on the little white box, our best friend, so you can have a bit of a read at that. And then we'll have this breakfast and start on a little run. Probably we'll run with the iPhone rather than the big heavy camera, but we'll catch up on the trail. Well, again, apologies for it's not a hacksaw Jim Duggan, it's a leaf blower. So we're just about to set off on our trek. What we've noticed well is they're doing a lot of work in and around the little thermal pools that are here. So probably we're going to run 6 miles out, have a dip, or maybe run out there for 6 miles and be told, "Nah, it's full, mate, you can't come in." To then have to walk back, whatever, to find out that the ones 200 yards from our van are probably going to be open. Everyone's going to be lying in there with a cold canyon.
That would be typical us.
That would be very typical us. So, right, so it's a 6 mile run out. We'll probably just take it very gentle, run out, do the thermal bath, hopefully, and then it'll be a walk back. But we also don't have any food with us, lunch with us, so we'll have to get a little snackette out on the road. So the path in the river didn't last that long, so that was my concern. We kind of ended up running down through a pretty overgrown area. So we come back and got on the road. Now I'm hoping that there's a path that we can go across. We did communicate in Spanglish to some bloke. He seemed to suggest going across the bridge. My map says otherwise. So we'll just see where we go. There's a sign up here to Madrid. We're not running to Madrid. Right. It's funny as well. He was like, cafeteria. It's like, do we look that bad already? We've only been going 10 minutes.
1k.
Right. Let's see where we head to. So we're, I don't know how many K in, but we came across a church you can probably hear ringing in the background. And then what I thought was a graveyard, which is right behind us. And then I noticed, and I'll put a little bit B-roll up, this thing here, a fireplace in a graveyard. And I said to Nicola, is that what they're burning them? And then I realised it's a place that sells outdoor ornaments and cooking material, not a graveyard. So
I'm struggling as usual. My Achilles has seized up. All those hills, so far I've done nothing for my fitness, but I'm still plodding on.
There's hot springs to be had. And that's us here, about 6.7 miles.
We ran just under 5.5 of it. I'm still finding running hard.
But hopefully we'll get in here now. It is 11:15. It shuts at 1, so hopefully we'll get an hour and a half or so. Right, time to don the masks. I'm going to doubt there's going to be any video recording, so we'll see you afterwards. And that is the hot springs done and dusted. And that was...
It was really good.
Really nice. Looks like, even though it said on the thing they closed at 1:30, I think they're open all day, but the queues getting in now are quite... So we hit it just at, I think, the right time.
Perfect. Yeah.
That seems to be the thing to do. I think the Spanish like their lie-ins, so get stuff done in the morning. But yeah, there's about, I think he said there was 10 hot springs outside and a couple inside. We didn't bring any flip-flops. You're supposed to wear flip-flops, so we kept avoiding the...
We did see a guy tell a girl off about it, so we were quite lucky we didn't get told off.
We just hid our feet, especially my feet, which are quite hard to hide, let's face it. So
take flip-flops.
We're not going to walk back. It wasn't a very pretty run. Where are you off to? Stay in frame. There you go.
I'm so relaxed from the thing, I can't walk straight.
It wasn't a very pretty run. Most of it was on the road. So there's no real point in walking back that way. So we think there's a bus across the way.
Which the guide tells us is only 85 cents.
80 cents to somewhere, who knows where.
Yeah.
So we shall wander across the bridge, grab hopefully this 80 cents bus, and then go back and get some. Again, we were going to grab something to eat at the hot springs, but it looks like they...
Breakfast until 2 o'clock.
Yeah, breakfast until 2, so tostadas. But we can have lunch back at the van, so let's do that then. And it is rather warm. See you back there. Well, we just got sold a kipper. Basically, the guy from the thermopools told us to come across here, and here only goes into the city, not to Barbantes. Hang on a minute, let's get by these guys.
Fly in the eye, fly in the eye.
So that bus was going, the bus driver was going, no, Barbantes is a different village. And I was like, I know, but do you go there? No, we go to the city. So now we have to go back across the bridge and hope we can get a bus. Now that we're on the other side of the bridge, the timetable that he gave us is completely off the rocker. I'm not sure we told him where we wanted to go.
I did say, maybe he didn't hear me, maybe I didn't say it properly, which is possible.
Now we did pass a couple of bus stops on the way down here.
Did we? Oh yeah, we did.
This is coming from the girl who didn't even know what side of the river we were on coming down here. Anyway, time to head back and see whether we can find El Autobus and get going.
We did help 2 Spanish ladies get their bus though.
Yeah, we helped the Spanish ladies get the bus. Meanwhile, we're sin Autobus. El Autobus that doesn't go where we wanted to go. Looks like the buses on this road only go as far as a place called Santa Cruz, which is still, I don't know, a couple of miles away from where we want to be. So is there really any point in getting buses anymore? We'll just stop. We also have just worked out that we'll run out of water, which is a bit of a bugger. But we think up in Santa Cruz there's a garage. So más agua, más patatas, bolso. So yeah, looks like we're hoofing it back. Oh, well there you go guys, we're 4 miles in and we were going to call into the little garage for just snacks, but someone decided she wanted to come in here and they showed us upstairs and it's a happening little restaurant, so we're going to get more than just a little snack. But 2.5 miles to go, 2.7 miles to go, so we should walk it all the way home. Well, there you go. We have just eaten manger well day up in a very salubrious restaurant, which actually was quite nice.
It was really nice.
I had pork chops and chips. In fact, part of the pork chops still in my satchel. With all my sweaty clothes, my bag now smells like a sweaty pig. Quite nice, really. So we have about 2.5 miles to go. It's going to be interesting to see what pace this one keeps up, because I'm all for, I've been known to run 20-25 miles and then have a beer and then run another X number of miles. So I actually had a cheeky little canyon or doss up there. So it'll be interesting to see whether or not the calories help keep Nicola's pace up, which, let's be fair, she was doing a damn good pace there. She was. Or whether or not
I think I was walking quicker than I ran.
Or whether or not that's me blowing away a fly. No, I'm just randomly doing that. Let's see whether calorie intake helped the pace. What say you? Vote now. As a side note, I'm going to be a kid on the way back these last 2.5 miles. I'm going to see whether I can get a lorry driver to do the ha ha. Do you reckon he'll do it? Let's see. So just up to me to the right is the Santa Cruz bus station. In fact, look at that there, sign. Stazione de Santa Cruz. So this is where that bus would have taken us, and then we would have had about a 2k walk back to the Auto Caravanas. But hey, it's all about the adventure. And we would have missed out on polio. Thank God we're not missing out on that. We would have missed out on chicken and pork. So yeah, I reckon it's about 2k to go. Ooh, there's a little duck. And that is Barbantes. We are back. Back, baby! Somewhere. In the heat of the midday sun, running low on agua, we find a little oasis in the desert, as in a petrol station. We fill our faces full of pork. I bring some of my sweaty bag just in case we get lost again, and we keep on stomping. There was beer involved, there was pork involved, there was hot springs involved, and we made it back. Barbantes. Again, probably completely... Oh, hang on. Oh, where is she? Here, she's here.
I did it!
Another 6.5 mile dander back in the hot midday sun.
It wasn't that bad. Once I've been refueled,
pork.
we were good to go.
And again, I had some extra pork in the backpack. So we're all good. Another probably half a k back to the van. And then...
Mucho dormir.
There you go. Oh, I can hear the train that we couldn't get either.
So you then tell me there's a train station.
It looks like there was a train station. Yes. Barbantes Estazione.
Well, you could get to Vigo from here.
Yeah, so we couldn't have got a train directly from the spas, but we could have got the 80-cent bus into Ornurs, had an hour walking around Ornurs, and then got the train from Ornurs to here.
And now he tells me.
Oh, and we made it back. That one was a 7-mile walk back in the heat of the midday sun, saved by pork and chicken and a beer or two. What say you, esposa?
I say next time do your research and find out about the train. That's what I say.
There you go. Enough said. Right, we're going back to collapse in the van. Catch up soon.